So here we have a very large model of a Northern Line London Underground tube train, 1938 or 1959 stock. It came in this grey primer. It's made out of resin, it's all one piece, 56 centimetres long. That's a large pair of scissors next to it for scale, if that helps, but anyway, it's pretty good. It looks very nice. It's very substantial, but I'm going to be painting it into silver and black, as it would have been on service with London Transport. And I've just been it came all grey painted in the grey primer. I've just been experimenting with marker pens, but we'll see how it looks after a few coats of paint and see what the finished article looks like. So I'll put some masking tape on it, and I think we're going to have a little go at spraying it, and we'll see what happens. So I've got some. I've not really done a very good job on masking it up, but it's just a bit. It's quite basic anyway, so we'll see how it goes. What do you want? Dog's trying to get in on the act as well. Well, I think that turned out okay. There's a bit of orange peel effect on the front, which I'm not too happy about. That's not great, but I think the sides. Oops, get my finger out the lens. Yeah, the sides don't look too bad actually. I mean, it's not brilliant, but it never was going to be anyway. I mean, perhaps I could put a bit more paint. Well, I think it's got a good finish. These trains always looked a bit of a mess anyway when they're in service, so that's that side. Yeah, and that's the other side. A little focus on it, which is not going to focus. Yeah, that paint finish isn't very good on the front, but if it comes to it, I can always sand it and paint it with a brush. But when these trains were in service, they're all different shades of silver and graffiti marks and all sorts. They looked a bit of a mess by the end of their service on the tube lines. So yeah, I think that will do. So the next stage is going to be doing the yeah, I tried to do a bit more on that one as well, but yeah, not looking too bad. Yeah, so next stage we'll be doing black paint on the roof and black paint on the chassis and the wheel section, and see how that goes. So it's the next morning. I'm in a bit of a quandary. I don't know what to do, because I took the masking tape off the roof. Obviously it looks a mess at the front with the marker pens, but I was watching some videos of these trains in service last night, and it looks like a lot of them had a grey roof anyway. So I could paint the roof black, but that might look too dark, because a lot of the roofs were meant to be grey, and they're sort of a grey-black colour. So if I spray it all black, it's going to look a bit too dark. But it doesn't quite look right like that either, so I don't really know what to do about that. Whilst I'm deciding whether to leave the roof grey or paint it black, I shall paint the underside black anyway. And I'm hoping that when I put the masking tape on here, on the silver paint, it's not going to lift the silver paint when I remove the masking tape, because I suspect the masking tape could lift the paint, but we shall see what happens. But if I do use the roof grey, I've made a mess of the front end anyway, so I'm going to do something with that. So how I tidy that up, I don't know. Hang on. Yeah, so that's a bit of a mess anyway, but I mean, I can tidy it up with pens, but it needs to be black or grey or something. I can't leave it like that. So, well, I don't know. We'll do the bottom side, we'll do the underside, and we'll take it from there. Interesting. Just very quick update. I've masked it up. I decided to have a go at brush paint in the roof, which looks a mess, but it's all masked anyway, so that looks a mess. So I think I'll just spray the top and the bottom, the roof and the chassis black, and we'll see how that goes. Yeah, it's not looking good, but we'll see how it goes with a bit more paint. Well, here's the update. Spare me a minute. Yeah, so here's the update. I've got the light on the camera so you can see. I can't really see much, to be honest. It's just black paint, but this is supposed to be, says here, flat black, which is supposed to be, I would think it would be a matte finish like it is on the cap. But you can see it looks very glossy here and it doesn't seem to be drying very much, so that's not good for a start. That's supposed to be drying matte. Obviously I put too much paint on it, I painted it too much, but yeah, it's not coming out in the camera at all. So the roof looks a mess, but they always were a mess on those trains anyway, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, that's the update. So I've removed the masking tape, and I'll have to say I'm very pleased with how it looks. Yeah, the masking tape didn't lift any of the silver paint. The silver paint all is still attached, which is very good. And that will focus. Yeah, the finish isn't perfect, but it was never going to be perfect anyway. But yeah, it's pretty good. I'm very happy with that, really. As you can see, even though I didn't mask it up very well around the doors, but it still looks okay. And despite my fears, the paint is all dried. It's dried matte finish as it should have done. Yeah, it's all a nice matte finish to it, so no shiny paint, which is as it should be. There's the wheels and the undercarriage. So the wheels that end. Yeah, so very good. I needn't worry about the paint finish. It actually looks okay, which is good. Yeah, so it's actually pretty good. Even around the back here, the way that's finished on the roof looks pretty good. Yeah, the paint is all just as I wanted it, and it's all dried very nicely. So yeah, that's that side anyway. This side isn't quite so good. But it's still not too bad. Yeah, I've messed it up a little bit there, but which isn't perfect, but yeah, it's okay. It's alright, it'll do the job. And yeah, so the next part to do, the next job will be to fill in the windows, which I will be doing with marker pens. I'll be using permanent marker pens to do the windows because it saves masking it up, and I think it'll look just as good as anything else. So yeah, that's the next job, and we'll see how it goes from there. But it's almost complete, getting there. But I'm very happy with how the painting went really well as far as I'm concerned. So it's looking quite good. Well, here's the final reveal. The train is all finished. I've filled in the windows with permanent pens. I've added some graffiti marks on the side, which I did with a silver paint pen to replicate the real trains, because what used to happen is they got graffiti on the aluminium panels, and they'd remove the graffiti off the aluminium panels with a bit of chemical, and it would leave these sort of marks. So if you can see, so it's not, well, you can see it just about there, and yeah, there as well. Just thought I'd add that bit of detail because that's what the real trains look like. So it's a model of a 1959 stock tube train, which would have been used on the Northern Line or the Central Line. These are all taken out of service around 1999 to 2000, and they're all sadly scrapped. So yeah, I've added some details. I've added the lights on the front, and you can just about see I've got some graffiti on the front there as well. And I didn't put any graffiti on this side, but yeah, it's about 22 centimetres long. No, sorry, 22 inches long, 56 centimetres. And there's the back end. And you've also got some detail underneath as well, which is pretty good. So yeah, it's about 1/32 scale. So probably about the same scale as electric cars actually. But yeah, the paint's not brilliant underneath, but no one looks under there, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, there we go. That's the model, all finished, all painted. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. At the very end I'll put a couple of pictures. I'll put a picture of what it looked like before I started painting it, as it actually arrived just as a grey unpainted lump in primer. And I'll also put a picture I took in 1986 of these trains in service, which is a picture I took at Lancaster Gate Tube Station. It's not a very good picture, but it's the only picture I took of these trains when they're in service. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Cheers, take care.